Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. My apologies. You guys know I am never this tardy. I was trying to do something new and technical on this side, and it was an epic fail. I tried it. Next thing you know, my Wi Fi crashed. I don't know what happened. But with that being said, I'm here. I am here. And I see my girl Danielle. Hey, girl. Okay. So we are live. We are live. All right. So, with that being said, I am not going to actually recap the last two episodes. I am just going to talk about how pissed off I am when it comes to this damn season and this damn show. I just look, y'all, and again, you can agree to disagree. We can have a respectful conversation. But at this point, this show should be called Raising Jukebox. Okay? Raising Jukebox. This show, I know you guys know who's been with me from the beginning. I love this show in the beginning, especially that first freaking season where it was talking about, the mathematics and the different layers that they were trying to build on these characters. I absolutely loved it. But somehow, especially in this season, I am trying to understand how Kanan is getting lost. I don't even care about Kanan anymore. And y'all let me know how y'all feel. But I don't even care about him anymore. I could care less. Proper grammar, I couldn't care less. I don't give a shit. Kanan to me is doing the same stuff over and over and over again. He's still being a spoiled brat, trying to stick it to his mama because he's mad at his mama, but he needs his mother. I'm over it. Juke to me has the layers. This is exactly. You came in with the smoke. I sure did come in with the smoke. I sure did. Danielle, come in with the smoke. I'm not trying peace on this. I'm not trying. That's why I said if it happened again, it's God's will that he don't want me to do this live. So if it's still going, honey, I'ma still flow. But Juke, in my opinion, she has the layers that we're looking for. Okay, she has, I'm saying, she's had goals, she's had antagonists with her goals, from singing to joining the army and people actually blocking her as far as getting to those goals. She has a very difficult, complex relationship when it comes to her father, when it came to her mother, and now with this new situation that happened, because again, the last episode at the end was pretty damn good, and we're going to talk about that because Jukebox, just to let you know, for those who haven't seen it, I'm just going to let you know what happens in the last episode. First things first, we all know that Jukebox is gay. She ends up in not this past episode, but the episode before that, she ends up finding this all women's gay bar. And this one lady kind of, welcomes her since this was her new time. And it's kind of like a big sister type of situation. So Jukebox is starting to get comfortable in her own skin. And so at that point, the last episode, she's at the bar and she ends up trying to go out with her big sister, her big gay sister that supports her and accepts her for who she is. She was like, let's go get some hash browns. Let's go eat. And we see this guy creeping on them. And this big sister is kind of like, no, we need to walk the other direction. And she's like, who the hell is that? Come to find out, the girl that she's really cool with, Jukebox is cool with, she's married. Okay. And the husband is coming off not only as a DVer, but also as a freaking unaliver. And so he ends up knocking out the girl and knocking out Jukebox and drags the girl into his car. Okay. So what happens is she goes home. She sees her daddy, Marvin. Marvin sees that she's all bruised up and he's like, who has put hands on you? All right. So she goes to her father like, we need to take action because this guy put hands on me. Marvin, as you guys know who watched the show, he's on his big bullying. Okay. And he has been on his big bully where he is just unaliving and beating everybody up. Okay. And he has had no repercussions to anything when it comes to this. However, he had finally met his match when it came to this girl's husband. He ends up going to that guy's apartment, and Marvin ends up fighting him. He thinks he got the best of him, but he turns his back like a dummy. And when he turns his back, this guy takes out a pokey and is literally about to go in and slice and dice Marvin. And it looks like we are this close to possibly seeing Marvin being unalive because the guy ends up getting the best of Marvin until Juke saves the day. And Juke saves the day by a pow pow. And the guy ends up, well, honestly, I don't even think we know if he's technically unalive yet. We just know that he's down. Okay. It looks like he's unalive. And the next thing you know, they're running out of the apartment. Now, mind you, clearly everyone in the apartment heard it. People done probably seen them. And not to mention Marvin's DNA is all over that freaking apartment. Okay. So what's interesting though, and what I liked about this, because let's be clear, what made Jukebox so fascinating is the first season, the first Power Ghost, right? We met Jukebox as an adult. She was a dirty cop and she was cold-hearted. Like she was cold as ice. And Kanan, her cousin, she didn't even trust him. You know what I'm saying? So like we was trying to figure out how is it that this is your cousin and it gets to the point where she don't care to where she even feels like she's about to unalive a kid, and your own cousin had to unalive you because he just realized you were just that diabolical and evil. Okay. Stay with me here. So that's what made Jukebox so fascinating. So naturally, when we was saying Raising Kanan was coming out, we're going to see the young Kanan, the young Jukebox, because we're trying to figure out what happened to her to make her so evil and just completely not care about anyone. Okay. So with that, that's when we have this season, which is season 4. We only have one more season, which is season 5. So to me, this was the turnaround that pretty much lets us know this is possibly where the change is going to happen, because so far the change hasn't really happened for her. She lost the love of her life as a teenager. She lost her mother, and she's still kind of being Juke. She's still kind of going, still trying to sing, still trying to, do something with her life. But then this happens, okay? And so now we have a situation where she's telling her father, just go. He was trying to talk to her. He was like, just drive off and go. And I don't know about y'all, but y'all gonna have to let me know. But I could have sworn at the end when they did a close-up on Juke, when Marvin is speeding away, I swear she had a smile on her face. She cracked a smile like a grin. Did y'all see that? And if you did, please let me know. She looked like she had an adrenaline rush with what she just did, which is very fascinating to me because they always say people who are like serial unalivers, like after they do their first unaliving, it does give them some type of adrenaline rush, and it kind of gets them in a mode of wanting to do it again and again and again. Like it's something in them that wants them, they want to continue to do it. Like the only way that they can be stopped is if someone stops them. And I'm trying to figure out if that's the angle that they're going with Juke. Okay, because she looked like she was cracking a smile and she was hyped up for what she had just did. So It would be an interesting twist, and it'd be interesting if the damn writers is listening to what the hell I'm saying. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? But it would be interesting if they're trying to go the serial unaliver route. That just her having that moment and what she just did just put something in her to just kind of turn into a freaking serial unaliver. You know what I mean? I still feel like there's something else that has to happen that's going to make her just to be completely, I don't give a damn. I'm about to just off everybody at this point. Something had to happen. My prediction is going to be this. Either Marvin is going to be unalived by the Italians. Something's going to possibly happen to him. And because of the fact that they ended up having a really close connection, they started to really get close, that's going to really be an issue for her. Or Marvin is going to take the rap for what she did in that apartment because, of course, his DNA is there. And he's going to end up taking a rap and he's going to end up going to jail for it. And that still can psychologically mess her up. But again, I'm more fascinated with Jukebox. I really don't care about freaking uh Rock that much. I'm not caring about Kanan. Hey Jay, I'm not caring about Kanan. I'm not caring about what's the crying fool that want to do music, Lou. Look, I done forgot his damn name. I do not care about any of the other characters, and that is an issue for me when this show was called Raising Kanan. It should have been about Kanan and his mama. Kanan, the main one, because his name is in the damn title. But I don't care. I care about Jukebox. She has a fascinating story. She has layers to her. She's trying to figure herself out, which most of us as teenagers, we were trying to figure ourselves out, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we were trying to do, being lost in the sauce, whatever. You know what I'm saying? She's given all of that. Kanan has had the same one-dimensional type of character throughout this whole damn freaking show with him being a mama's boy. Okay, so now he's sitting up there, selling substances or whatever, but nothing has really been a big issue for him yet. Like nothing. It's just kind of like that slow burn stuff that is just like at this point, we only have a season and a half. Get to the point of where the hell Kanan is going to go. I am so not interested in his character at this point. Yeah, she is Kanan's cousin, and I'm more interested in his cousin than I'm interested in him. Jukebox is the character that I'm interested in, especially after this last episode. Especially when she kind of cracked that smile at the end. I'm like, oh, where are they about to take this? I only care about Jukebox. Even with Rock not understanding why all these things are crumbling down on her, again, it's still interesting. What's interesting is that the women are carrying this show. Sorry. Hey, I mean, I know some of y'all probably gonna hate that, but the reality is Jukebox and Rock, they are the only ones that are truly carrying this show at this point. Bottom line. Even with Unique, his whole thing is revenge on Rock. And what makes it interesting is that her world is tumbling down and she doesn't even understand why or what the heck is going on, which I guess that would be the big moment is when she does find out that it is Unique, but she's trying to figure out, why is my attorney gone? Why is this happening? Like, what's going on? Jukebox and Rock are the main ones who are carrying this show. But right now, Jukebox is the character that I am following to the end at this point, because again, we already saw her. We already saw her in the first Power, and the way that she was, I think all of us was fascinated as to where this is going. I'm done with the Breeze topic. I don't think we're ever going to see Breeze. I'm over it. Like all of this nonsense about Breeze and when is Breeze coming up. Jukebox is the character. I feel like she is the breakout star. And for whatever reason, I feel like Kanan's story is weak now. Is it just me? But I feel like Kanan's story is weak. Kanan is about to turn when he loses Crystal and finds out his family has something to do with Famous being gone. Okay. So you think, Jay, that he's about to turn when he loses Crystal and then finds out that his family had something to do with Famous being gone? Which family would that be, Rock or Marvin? Because it's definitely not Lou. So who would that be? So Jay has a prediction. Y'all see in the chat, Jay has a prediction. Jay is saying that it's definitely going to be Kanan's going to turn too. But let me see. Kanan narration said in season 1 said Juke was more cold than him. Anyways, yes. But again, so far we have not seen that. But to me, she has more layers to her story. She has way more layers to her story. She's a more interesting character. Like, I'm at this point when I'm like, this mama's boy piece of shit, I don't care about Kanan. Right? Rock might have gotten to fame. Maybe. She could have. She could have. Hell, to be honest, what's his name? Detective Howard could have gotten the fame. He could have got to Famous. You know what I'm saying? Because what didn't he know last season that Famous was in the precinct? And maybe he did something to Famous to protect Kanan. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey Leo, what's up? Make sure you guys hit the like button. So yeah, you guys, let me know. Do you feel because Kanan is supposed to be the star of this show? Is that not correct? Is he not supposed to be the star of this show? Do y'all feel that he's given star of this show? I don't see it. Like when I watch, and I know you guys be like, oh, you always comparing it to Snowfall. But let's be clear. Snowfall, Franklin Saint was always the main character from the first season to the last season. We never lost who the lead was. And I feel like your lead has to have layers and different dimensions to them to keep us holding on to them. I've lost interest in Kanan. I really have. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that part. I fell off to sleep. Exactly, Leo. See, look, that's exactly my point, Leo. You fell off to sleep. You know why? Because the shit is getting boring. It's getting boring. The stakes are not like, to a certain extent, they're trying to up the stakes, but it's almost kind of like not hitting. And maybe because they're just trying to do a slow burn, but it's not hitting for me the way that it was in the first season. If you keep falling asleep on it, it's possibly because it's boring. Famous and Crystal are going to be Kanan breaking. Famous and Crystal going to be Kanan breaking because everyone he tried to get close got unalive, and Rock got rid of his father in front of his face. I mean, look, we know Kanan is cold because we saw, of course, in the first season of Power, well, the first segment of Power, that he even offed his own son, which is interesting enough. I can't remember what his baby mama's name was in the first Power, but I'm trying to figure out if that is supposed to be Crystal, because of course we saw the baby mama in when Kanan was introduced on the show. But that'll be interesting if that is Crystal, but I feel like her name wasn't Crystal. So maybe Crystal ends up leaving, or maybe Crystal ends up getting unalived. Maybe that happens. But again, I am more interested in Juke than I am in Kanan. Even if Kanan turns, who is he turning against? Juke is the standout right now for me. Yeah, thank you, Leo. I feel like Juke is making a show. Yes, Chris, is slow, and yes, not hitting the same. And Unique is acting like his brother lurking around. Right, he became the South Jamaica boogeyman. He became the South Jamaica boogeyman at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he ends up. It's almost like his brother spirit went from out of his body and jumped into Unique. But yeah, I'm Team Unique anyways. You're Team Unique because you don't like Rock, Jay? I mean, it will be very interesting to see. It will be very interesting to see. Make sure you guys hit the like button, but it'd be very interesting to see when Rock finds out it's Unique. And it'll be very interesting to see if he even understands or realizes that Rock is not the enemy. Even though he thinks she's the enemy, she actually isn't the enemy. So that would be interesting. But like I said, at this point, Juke is the first story I'm interested in, and then Rock follows behind that. Everybody else falls to the wayside for me. The women are carrying this show. I mean, that's just what it is. Everybody else, I'm like, they're either making stupid moves or they're just giving them dialogue that just lets them go with the flow. Like, I don't care about Lou's story at this point. All he's doing is being a music producer. He's being mean to this one lady who's the project manager. And I'm like, I don't even know why you being an asshole to her. Make me wonder if she looked like Famous freaking sister, would you be looking at her in a different way? But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, like, I don't care about his story. Marvin keeps making these bullying mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And him being a big bully has cost his daughter, you know what I mean, to actually be in a major predicament, like the worst predicament ever. Which again, that's why I feel like Marvin has to take the rap, because she becomes a damn police officer. So I can see Marvin taking a rap for Jukebox and going to jail. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I don't know if you heard me, but that's what I said earlier. Because his DNA is all over that apartment. His DNA is all over that apartment. So he will have to explain that. You know what I'm saying? And so the best thing to do is you put yourself in that situation and you go to prison while your daughter lives her life. That would be the ultimate sacrifice for him, especially because he has messed up in the past, is for her to continue on with her life. So I think that would be the case. And he may get unalived in prison because, of course, what's his name? Stefano said, you vouching for this dude. Just understand that if something happens, I'm blaming you. That tells me that in the future, he possibly can get unalived. And the best way to, I guess, to get to him would be in prison. It's weird that looking at this, the adult Kanan will unalive Juke, but I heard the actress playing the adult version was offered another role and they didn't want to replace her. Well, here's the thing. If that is the case and they didn't want to replace her, you got to stick with how you ended her. So we have to see, how did it go from them being like super close cousins, almost like BFFs, to her not trusting him at all whatsoever, and literally getting her girlfriend or her little plaything to mess with Kanan as an adult to try to see what information she can get off of him. Like, she was treating Kanan like she did not know him, nor did she trust him. We're gonna have to see how does it get to that point. And again, we only have what? How many more episodes? What, 6 more episodes? And then we have next season, and then Raising Kanan is over. Unless, didn't they say they were going to actually do a show now on Tommy and Ghost when they were younger? Did I not hear that? That they plan to actually have a show on that, unless they're going to continue Juke and Kanan's story on that. I think Kanan was mad that Juke became a cop. Yeah, I don't know about that, because to me that'll kind of be the best situation, especially if that's your cousin. She can kind of let you know what's going on. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was upset with that. I think something happened in their dynamic when they were younger that we need to see, that made them not really trust each other again. Yes, Power Origins. Yes. Okay. They are coming out with Power Origins. Thank you. Thank you, crew. So they're coming out with Power Origins. So that is supposed to be young Tommy and young Ghost. The only way I can see this going now is they're going to have to really show us what happened to where these cousins could no longer, they were all they had at one point, to now not trusting each other. They're really going to have to bring it this season and next season, unless Origins is going to continue on with their story. That's the only way that I could see it. But I just wanted to talk about that. My prediction, like I said, I told you my prediction is with Marvin. Marvin definitely, it's one or two things: jail, unalive, both. Definitely going to be that situation. that may be a reason why Juke also, because remember, Juke was a cop in DC. She wasn't a cop in New York. She was a cop in DC. So maybe that's another reason why she left New York, because things was getting too hot. And because things was getting too hot, she ended up going to DC. Maybe it has something to do with Marvin, why Kanan and Juke became cold towards each other. Maybe. That's what I'm wondering. Will Juke... Here's the thing. At this point, we have seen all the way up until the middle of season 4. Because that's what you're saying, Leo. That's why I'm wondering, will Juke and Kanan cross over? We have definitely seen all the way up until the middle of season 4 that these cousins, while they may have had arguments, they are still close and they still love each other. It hasn't been an issue yet where they're like, I don't trust you at all whatsoever. Kanan is even trying to have Juke and Crystal be cool again. So you're going to really have to either do this super fast where it may not look realistic, or you're going to have to give us something that's going to make us say, this is the reason why Jukebox is the way that she is. Because she could go into, they could try to make her a serial unaliver, because clearly she has some type of adrenaline rush when she sat up there and pow-powed that guy. They can make her a serial unaliver, but what does that have to do with Kanan? Why does her coldness also go towards Kanan? And that's the part that we're missing. I think Tommy and Ghost did know her from OG Power. I don't think Tommy mentioned her, but remember when Kanan said something about the coldest girl out there, or the coldest something out there, Ghost was scared. He had this scared look on his face, and he was like, Jukebox? He was scared. So that tells you right there that they definitely knew who she was and were terrified of her. We need to see that. And I definitely think that this last episode, it was an interesting twist. And I haven't seen an interesting twist in a long time when it comes to this show. But that's why I'm saying Jukebox for the win when it comes to this show. This show should be called Raising Jukebox, because Jukebox to me is the girl. She is the girl to me that is carrying this show. She is the girl to me that I'm interested in seeing every week to see exactly what other layer they're going to add to her story. And I damn sure want to know what happened to her friend, the girl that she kind of saw like a big sister who invited her into the gay bar. Because now I'm starting to think, especially with that guy pulling out that pokey on Marvin, that he could have easily unalived that lady and we never going to see her again. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But I definitely, again, she has so many layers to her story. Hell, we started off this season with Jukebox in the Army. Hell, I think that was wasn't that the first actual scene that we saw this season? So to me, it seems like they're putting their focus on Jukebox. Let me find out there's some drama going on behind the scenes, like we eventually found out when it came to Ghost and Amari Hardrick. I'm like, let me find out there's some drama going on behind the scene, and they purposely not giving Kanan, you know what I'm saying, the best storylines, and they giving Jukebox the storylines, because to me, Jukebox is it for me. Kanan coming off like Tommy and Force. Unfortunately, I could not ever really get into that show. Yeah, sorry. I could not get into that show, so I can't even know. I don't even know what the reference would mean off of that, Leo. Break it down for me, because I couldn't get into that show. I'm starting to think that maybe these writers are also getting bored. Like, the first season was everything. And remember how they was always saying, what's the mathematics? Remember when they were saying, what's the mathematics? How the hell do you start off the first season talking about some what's the mathematics and trying to make it seem like they have their own lingo, their own code, and now they don't even talk about math, adding, subtracting, none of that shit. I'm like, how do you start off like that, making it seem like that's their own little code, and then now we don't hear nothing about no damn mathematics? Like, stick with what you created, stick with it so we can continue to follow it. It's like they start off and then they just end up just completely going into another direction, as if that wasn't the foundation of how they talked in the first place. Kanan even broke it down on what it meant and why they talked like that, if I'm not mistaken. So why the hell isn't that still in the show? I think there's, hey, Kiko, I think there's something going on with the famous actor behind the scenes. You mean on a personal level, not the actual show, like the character, but you talking about the personal level? Oh, okay. Okay, Chris, you are not missing anything in Force is born without Ghost being with him. This is why this is the last season of that spinoff. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like and it could be maybe Stars is doing something to where they're just trying to knock off these shows, because when you really think about it, even BMF is about to go, Power is about to go. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to get to Origins because everybody's still talking about Ghosts, and maybe they want to incorporate Ghosts again. I was mad at Marvin. Yeah. Marvin was trying to do his big bully. And one thing about a bully is that they will eventually see that they not the biggest bully out there. Somebody gonna get to him, and he almost got. Yeah, I keep hearing something is up with the actor playing famous. Oh, was on. Oh no. Oh, I hope that's not the case. Wow, I hope that's not the case. I don't know. I'm on this new system, so I don't know if I can show that. But allegedly, they were saying that the real actor famous got some personal demons possibly going on. Oh no. I mean, that wouldn't be the first or the last time we done heard about people, I mean, it happens in any field, so it definitely will happen in the Hollywood field, in the acting field for sure. I think he is going to who's going to be unalive. Try to not use the D word or asterisk it out, Kiko. But yeah, who you talking about? Marvin? I heard you are hearing voiceovers now concerning. Oh, damn. Well, that sucks. That sucks on a personal level if it's something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because shoot, I'm sure they was making some good money. So hopefully, prayers to him. Hopefully that is not the case. Yeah, okay, yeah, Marvin. Yeah, I said that earlier. I feel like Marvin is gonna become unalive. Um, I think he's also gonna go to jail. I feel like that he's gonna go to jail and then possibly get unalived in the prison system. That's what I think is going to happen, because at this point, what other situation is there going to be? Jukebox, we clearly know she becomes a police officer. So unless they completely changed her name and like scraps like her record clean, she can't become a police officer with that type of record with unaliving somebody. So someone had to take the rap for her, which to me is going to be Marvin because his DNA is all over the place. So, but I do feel like the way that he's moving, also, eventually we are possibly going to see that he's going to be unalived also. And the best way, I guess, to get to him would be in prison, where he can be caught off guard in prison. So, yeah. But Jukebox character is it for me. She definitely, after this last episode, I said, this is Jukebox show. This is Jukebox show. So this might be Marvin's last season, but I wonder will Rock go to jail? Because in OG Power, Kanan said he just came from seeing his mom's. Either jail or she unalive and he went to the cemetery. One or the other. One of the other. He either went to go to the cemetery or she's in prison. So that's definitely seems like to me, Lou, as weak as he acts in a way that he cries and stuff like that, Lou possibly may make it out. He may make it out and go into the record business. He may get into the record business because we've heard that story before. People who used to be on the street end up using that same mindset in the record business. So they will pretty much have Lou doing that. So I could see him getting out. Yeah, Kiko, she is the most interesting. I think we all are curious of how Juke becomes a cop. I think what was her name? Burke. I think Burke kind of piqued her interest. The army piqued her interest, and she probably felt like that was the best way for her to have control in situations is to become a cop. In my personal opinion, there's a lot of people who become cops just so they can bully. That's why you have so many people who don't trust cops, because there's a lot of cops who truly get a kick and a high off of trying to have authority over other people. So, but yeah, I definitely think that's the reason why they introduced Burke into her life and then also the army into her life. I think honestly it was both. But again, she ends up going to DC. So somewhere along the line, she leaves New York and she goes to DC and starts a life in DC. But I am curious to know what the hell happens between her and Kanan, where she sees him as an enemy, no longer a cousin, but an enemy that she's just trying to get what she needs to get out of a situation. She does not trust him. By the time when we saw OG Power, she was cold, does not trust him, and they all scared of her ass. So we got to get to that point because they were bullied as a kid, right? A lot of them were bullied as a kid. I think Lou was going to get back in the game because of Marvin's mess. They may pull him back in. We may have a Godfather moment. Once I try to get out, they pull me back in. We may have a moment like that. We may. But I don't know. I feel like the way Marvin is moving, he has no choice now with this situation with Juke because it's really his fault. Is really his fault. Like, who the hell goes to someone's apartment to sit up there and handle business like that? That just shows you right there he just made an idiotic move. Now, you could follow him after he leave his damn apartment and then meet him up in the street or something like that, but to literally go into an apartment complex that you don't know who's around, and you do all of that banging and all of that noise, and then they heard the pow pows, you're just stupid. You're just asking for something. So as far as I see it, he deserved to have whatever happened to him at this point, because he is absolutely being reckless. Exactly, Hiko, being completely reckless. But yeah, you guys, that's what I wanted to say. This is Jukebox Show. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think Kanan is carrying this show anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he's not. He's not. He's kind of like a backstory at this point. I don't even care about what his next move is. In fact, I'm kind of annoyed with his next move because even when he went to Stefano was like, you little piece of shit. Like, your mother loves you. My kids, like, there's no way, like, get your ass up out of here. Like, you lack loyalty when it comes to your mom. It's like, why am I holding on to him? I think he's a spoiled brat. I think he's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's disrespectful. He has no respect for no one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is the point of me holding on to him? Jukebox still has heart. She still has goals. The girl tried the singing career. She's tried the army. She is still trying to be something in life. And then bam, to protect her father, life takes a turn. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just, to me, this is the compelling character. This is the character that has the layers that I want to see. This is the character that made me say, damn, Juke, like, you was the one who had no priors. You was the one who was clean. You was the one who wasn't trying to sell. You wasn't trying to deal. You wasn't trying to do any of that stuff. And in one moment, protecting your dumbass father, life can literally be over for you. And that's what I'm holding on to. Not Kanan or any of this other stuff. He chose to pretty much ruin his life at one point, of course, trying to protect his mama. But then also now he want to be, you know what I'm saying, like he the freaking kingpin of Queens. But Juke was the one who was still trying to stay on the straight and narrow, and she was still just trying to figure out life. So this is the character that I'm following. You know what I'm saying? This is the character that I'm following at this point. Everybody else, I'm like, it is what it is. But with that being said, I know you guys typically like to hear recaps from me, but nah, not this time. Because I'm frustrated that when you're dealing with this type of ensemble cast, you typically have a couple of people that you're interested in following and seeing where their story goes. Even if the main character is still the main character. At this point, I have lost all interest in most of the other characters. Like Jukebox is it, and the second one is Rock, and that's it. Who's pregnant? I know you're talking about Juke, Kiko. You talking about Juke? She should have not sent him there. She knows how Marvin is. Who pregnant? Juke ain't pregnant. Juke ain't never had no peen to be pregnant. Snaps and Pops told Kanan the same last week. Yeah, he has no loyalty, and it's like he don't care about nobody. He don't even care about Crystal. Like real talk, like I think she's just a temporary situation. He don't care about that damn girl. So that's why I'm like, why am I holding on to him? You know, at least in the first season, he actually loved his mama. And you know what I'm saying, wanted to protect his mama and defend his mama by any means necessary. Now he's just whatever. I know I think Juke is, are you saying in real life she's preggers is what you're saying? Because we definitely ain't talking about the character Juke. You say it in real life. Okay, in real life, maybe she pregnant. Because we clearly know she ain't had no eggplant. So there's no way possible. Okay. But Kanan has become too arrogant. He's a spoiled brat. He's a spoiled little brat. You know what I'm saying? That has had everything given to him, including, you know what I'm saying, his empire that he has created. The only way he can move around the way he's moving around is because of his family. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just like, what is the point of all of this? He ain't even really been in no real danger yet because he had a cop for a daddy and a freaking, you know what I'm saying, slick mama who know the streets. She was raised in the streets. Juke looks bigger. I'm saying, oh, in real life she looks bigger. Oh, okay, yeah. On the show she looks thicker. Okay, well maybe she is, and maybe she is pregnant. One thing I will say before I go that I did like the conversation between Rock and her mother. That was deep for the mother to say, you know what I think about the most, that even when I'm gone, no one is gonna miss me. That was deep. Whoever wrote that, kudos to them, because that was a deep moment that even Rock was like, I can't do this right now because I'm still mad at you and you want my forgiveness. That was definitely a nice moment, a nice touch between Rock and her mother. But yeah, other than that, you guys, yeah, I'm gonna be following Juke. You know, I'll be here to do the reviews or whatever the case may be, but I'm not interested in the other characters, but I would definitely like to know what everyone else's opinions are on it. You know, as long as you're respectful, by all means, please give me your insight on what you think. Maybe I'm missing something, but right now, is Team Juke all the way. I am more interested in her story. I want to know what's about to happen. That scene had me on the edge of my seat, and then her kind of cracking a smile when she was in the car and they did a close-up on her made me say, oh damn, what are we dealing with here? Like, could she like seriously get a kick out of what she just did and have an adrenaline rush over this? That piqued my interest even more. Kanan, I don't care. Lou, I don't care. And at this point, Marvin, I definitely don't care either. So we'll have to see. She is dealing with mama trauma. Yes, Kanan was never smart in my opinion. He got set up by Ghost and Tommy. Yeah, because you know what? He's never had to think. He's never had to think because honestly, even all of the moves that he has made currently on the street, he's still getting protected by his mama. You know what I'm saying? He's still getting protected by his mama. So Tasha, Rock and the fashions. Come on, Patina. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They definitely giving. That's the other thing too. I love the nostalgia of the 80s and the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So like I love that. But you know, I don't know. It's just I hate when I really love shows and then it ends up fizzling out. And for whatever reason, these power shows and even BMF, these shows are doing that. They start off really damn good, and then you be like, what the hell? What is this at this point? And where are y'all going with this? And again, maybe it's a budget issue. Maybe there's some stuff behind the scenes that we don't know about that at this point, the writers is just like, just give me my damn money and y'all do whatever y'all want to do with the show. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that ponytail, even like she had that body outfit with the white and the black kind of like bustier almost. Yeah, she dresses for sure. For sure she dresses. But yeah, definitely we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But with that being said, let's continue the conversation. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button. But yeah, I'm curious to see what people are going to say about this. But right now, yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't care about the rest of the characters. Juke is the one. Whoever is writing Juke, to me, they took more time to really give the character development on Juke than anyone else. Okay. That's just what it is for me. BMF is trash. Thank God for Meech messing it up. BMF was trash before Big Meech. That last season, I tried to watch it. It was absolute garbage. But apparently, from my understanding, the showrunner who created BMF, the show, he ended up getting sick. And I think that last season, he wasn't in the writer's room at all. And I think we kind of see where that went, from my understanding. That's the reason why. But yeah, BMF, like a lot of the shows, it just seems like the first couple of seasons is pretty good and then it starts to fizzle out. I don't know why that's the case, but hell, it is what it is, right? I'm excited though, because Snowfall is about to have a spinoff. So I'm hoping the spinoff is just as good as Snowfall. So hopefully we'll get a great show on that, because we definitely need to continue with our, Black shows. We need to continue them. We can't just keep canceling the shows. So hopefully that show will be really good. I'm saying I'm happy that Big Meech and 50 are beefing so they can get rid of that trash. Oh, so you saying if they didn't have the beef, it would. You know what, Jado? I really feel like that show was even going to end regardless. It's just that he's making it end quicker because of what's going on. But I feel like it was going to end anyways, because I heard the ratings dropped so badly last season. They was like, what the hell is going on? But with that being said, you guys, let's continue the conversation. I would like to hear different point of views. Again, just be respectful. The moment you come up in here and you're not respectful, I will just block you. But I would love to hear different opinions. Maybe you see a whole different perspective on Kanan, and maybe you feel like Kanan is really still showing that he's the main character. I don't see it. You never got into Snowfall? I loved Snowfall, Leo. I loved it. And sometimes you may not get into it when it first comes out. Maybe, you're the type of person where after a couple of years and it's over, you start watching it again and then you really like it. I would definitely say try to give it a try again. Since now, it's over, you can definitely just kind of watch it and do like a binge watch and just watch it all the way through. But with that being said, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about what my predictions are and what I think about this show now. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.